Maul Shadow Lord is back with 2 more episodes, episodes 3 and 4, and it's been incredible so far. I've been really excited to talk to you guys about this one. Not only have the first 2 episodes absolutely blown, not just the critics and the audience, like the people at home away. There we go, I finished that one. But they also did with episodes 3 and 4. Currently, right now, it is sitting at what? The Friday, the 17th at 11:20 a.m. We are still sitting at 100% Rotten Tomatoes. Now, look, if you know me, you know that I'm not really like the biggest Rotten Tomato guy, because most of the time, if critics like something, then I might not like it. And then, you know, like, I mean, if they hate something, I'm pretty much guaranteed to like it. I've never really been on their side, but look, I have to agree here. I've been really enjoying this series so far. It has been incredible for so many different reasons, and it's easy to go into all of them right now, but I kind of want to stick to 3. First one I want to talk about is sound design. Now, so many of you guys, if you are sitting there in the ethos of Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff, then you're going to see all of these amazing side notes and background stuff of Sam Witwer and what they were doing when they were filming Maul. I mean, kind of doing the live action stuff. Not only was he painting his face, but they also got him to do the screaming for the lightsabers. Now, it's really come off well. Not only do the lightsabers feel more connected to the character, but it also makes me I think it's the best sound design for any lightsaber that we've ever had before. I mean, you get this, I mean, apart from the squeaking of my seat, you know, like you go, you feel that rage of Maul, which is kind of, you know, juxtaposed to the humming of the Jedi, the Jedi that seem to be more, not necessarily centered, because they do feel off. They feel really off in this series, which I like. I really enjoy. I mean, we're seeing 2 very different kind of separated versions of both the Jedi and the Sith. Maul is someone who is kind of, you know, I mean, he's been dealt a bad hand. He's not really the worst Sith out of all of them. I think he's kind of just, I mean, he's not the best dude, but he's angry. He really reminds me of Tai Lung. Anyways, another thing that I really want to talk about with the sound design, before I delve deep into everything else, I want to talk about the fighting. I think the fighting has really stepped up, because not only have they not just kind of like faded away into that deep bass side of it where, you know, I mean, like I've got a really good speaker system and I'm able to feel all of the bass that they put into everything. And you watch a lot of the more recent stuff like Bad Batch and all that kind of jazz, all the recent Star Wars stuff, it's so heavy bass. They step down, and it really like sinks in, but it's not actually as bass heavy. I mean, when you think about how the Jedi are actually fighting, they're very agile, especially Maul. So looking at the sound design, it hasn't been necessarily that the big heavy footsteps and the large striking movements, you know. You've got these really beautiful kind of like individual personal sounds. You're getting, I mean, not only are you seeing like the screaming and the lightsaber being super personal, but you're also getting like lighter footsteps for characters that are more agile and are jumping around the place. And I mean, like, don't even get me started with the fight that we had. Well, I mean, if you want to call it a fight, it was kind of like a little bit of a tease to a later fight in episode 4 of Maul and Devon, when you're watching Maul and Devon and just takes away all of the light. So everything that we're focused on is a tiny little beam of light from this lightsaber, the kind of the slightly surrounding areas, but then mainly focused on this beautiful surround sound. I was so lucky to be able to experience that properly, and because I felt like, oh God, he's over there. Oh no, he's over there. Oh, you know, it was such an interesting way to do it, because Star Wars hasn't gone into that too much. You know, it's very much been a visual spectacle with great, amazing themes, you know. Like the scoring by Kind of Music has been absolutely impeccable. Don't get me wrong, it's been absolutely impeccable. But like, I don't know, everything is gelling towards a new era of Star Wars. They don't have to show everything. They can really, they don't really have to tell everything. They can really make us feel it. Like, I felt so much of these fight scenes deep in my guts. Like, I was fearful, I was excited. It was so many different aspects of the sound design that just got me chef's kissing everywhere. I was just, mamma mia, Tony Italiano. Very, very good. Very, very good. And with a potential, look, I mean, I talked about this on Mando Mating with Jesse and a bunch of the crew there. So if you actually do want to talk about stuff earlier than the episodes, please come on down to Mando Mating. Check it. It's so much fun. But I even heard at the end, last little bit of sound design, was there the Vader theme? Or was it the Vader theme to show that there were potential Inquisitors? Who knows? Who knows? I know we really want Vader in this one because it'd be so interesting, but I do fear that he's going to take away from a lot of what Maul has built up in these first few episodes, you know? So the second thing I really want to talk about is lighting, okay? Now, the lighting, there's been a very specific way that they have done lighting in this of the 60-30-10 rule. Now, let me get this one up for you so you can see. I should have actually got this up before. I'm a silly boy. And we're back. So I have here the 60-30-10 color rule. Now, I got an idea of Kung Fu Panda in here just to show you, okay? Now, in Kung Fu Panda, they use this because the idea of the 60-30-10 rule is that you can have something that is visually pleasing whilst also showing all of the necessary information of the scene, who's in charge, what's going on, all that kind of stuff, by just using a specific color palette. It's all about aesthetics and so on, but in the end, it really does tell you everything you need to know about the story. I mean, like, you've got 10 for the praying mantis, you've got 30 for the brown here, and then you've also got the 60 out of this color. Now, if I was to do this upside down, oh my God, I can do this. Boom! Now look at this image right here, okay? This is crazy skills, by the way. This is crazy skills. Okay, there we go. Now, you can see the exact same 60-30-10 rule here. You've got the 60 for the red. Now, you've got the 10 for that little bit of yellow, and then you've also got that kind of like blacky brown there. Now, look, it's not exact, and it's never always going to be exact, but it tells you the focus that you need to have without even thinking. The way our brain works is that we can only process a certain amount of bits per input. Now, that is sound, sight, everything. Every little bit of life, we can only process that much information. So creating something like this is not only visually very aesthetic and very pleasing, but you're also getting all of these necessary little bits of information, and I love what they've done here. I really, really love the kind of like a little extra details that they've gone in to make sure that not only is this show like thematically beautiful, but it is also very aesthetically gorgeous. Now, I want to also talk about something that they did, which was the use of darkness. Yes, into the dark. I'm so glad that they've finally done something with a Sith that is dark. Now give me more Maul in just complete darkness. Now I know I talked about this just before about them like sapping all of the light and only using the lightsaber, but the thing is, we've never really explored something like this before. We've never really seen kind of like them try something new. It's always been the classic, well, you know, we're going for a well-lit scene. Now, this is in more modern times. Yes, in the past they've worked with darkness, whatever, sure. But we haven't seen it for so long, if at all anything like this, you know? So it's like, I've been really, really excited to see how they're doing it. And I think, honestly, what Maul has done so well, like with it, lighting, sound design, everything to do with it, is it's piggybacked off all of the things that worked so well in so many other shows, series of Star Wars. Now, the one big thing is the use of the lighting of the lightsaber. In that dark scene, all we got was the red hue from Maul's lightsaber when Devon was holding and trying to find her way around the room. But where did we see that before? We actually saw that in Kenobi. Now, in Kenobi, it was a really fascinating, I guess, accident, because they didn't mean to have the lightsabers be so bright. There was one thing that Disney did where they replaced the kind of the CGI lightsabers, where they have the lightsaber stick and then they kind of like map that and they'll do that off camera. They actually replaced it with real lightsabers. It made the hilts really thick. It didn't make it look as beautiful or anything like that. It was, I mean, it's not a weapon of a civilized time, but it is something that they can actually use physically as a prop itself, which, I mean, I'm all for with filmmaking. I think it's a really interesting way to do it, but it was completely by accident. In that scene with Kenobi and Vader, when they're fighting with the lightsabers, and you get that blue hue on his face when he's being good, and that red when he's being bad, that was genuinely, I mean, like the first time they did it, obviously it became more personal later, like a personal choice to kind of like highlight it a little extra. But when they were first filming the shots, they didn't expect that to be the case. They didn't know that that would actually happen. I mean, obviously, you would think someone in that kind of like in that level of Star Wars would understand. I mean, like even the tiny, most nuanced points. But it's really cool to just have a happy accident and to watch it trail on to all of these new shows. And you know what? Kind of gets me into the last little bit that I want to talk about, which is the next generation of Star Wars. Now, I know a lot of people didn't really like it, but Andor paved a new path for Star Wars, and personally, I've been a massive, massive fan. I know a lot of fans as well, and a lot of people who are outside of Star Wars going, I would watch this. I would watch this easily over any of the old movies or even any of the prequels. It's a very different style of show, a very different genre that you can kind of tap into that doesn't necessarily have all of the Star Wars DNA, but I like that it paved that new path. And the thing is, with that darker path that Andor brought in, like it or not, I'm not going to comment on that, we've actually seen that translate so beautifully onto Maul. We never would have been able to have this criminal underlord system with Disney in the reins. I know that was George Lucas's original thing, but, you know, I mean, like, Disney being the reins of it, it didn't really work that well. They didn't have that as an idea of Star Wars. It was more so, let's kind of like work through and knead the dough of all of the other like tried and true methods of Star Wars, of the classic hero story, something where we're experiencing the characters that we knew before, rudda, 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 all that kind of stuff. And I can appreciate that Dave Filoni's been a massive, massive player in this. He's been so awesome to be able to kind of like get into an older influence of Star Wars, kind of like that samurai feeling, the cowboy-esque with the Mandalorian, all that kind of stuff, whilst also adopting some of the new wave of stuff like Andor. I mean, you can say that they kind of did a little bit extra in some of the other new shows, but like, Filoni was really a part of a lot of that. So I just want to say Andor was like a massive reference there. Anyways, I think it was really cool because we got in this next generation something that I refer to as the Sam Witwer effect, which anything that he says goes in Star Wars. He talked one time on the influence of Star Wars being like a campfire story. Not everything is going to be exactly accurate, and it's all from a certain perspective. From different perspectives, you can actually see that certain people are right and certain people are wrong. And I love that about Star Wars. It's really, really beautiful. It's such a cool way to just go, you know what? I can love every single character individually and also hate them at the same time. Really, really interesting. It's not empty-worded stories anymore. It's not something that feels like it's been ripped out of a previous iteration of Star Wars and planted into something new. This feels like it is completely fresh. It is, it's been absorbed so well by all audience, be that critics or you know, people at home, like I was talking about before. But it's just, it's really allowing us to see this new era of Star Wars that feels very traditional at the same time. In an era that we are so blatantly kind of exposed to AI and all that kind of stuff. It's really nice to see some homegrown, human-esque stories. You know, and to kind of like finish it off, I really do like that Maul is kind of leaning towards a Ronin-esque. You know what I mean? I really do think that this next generation of Star Wars is going to show us a new peak. Now, when you look at, let's get on the other side of this one. When you look, when you look at the thing right here, you've got average Star Wars where you have like going up, peak, oh, and then it kind of drops down and maybe, oh, but it doesn't really get that far. It doesn't really get to the same height. What I think, this being Maul, I think honestly it's allowing us to understand that through the highs of the others, we are better able to traverse the mountains and reach even higher highs, and then hopefully even higher highs. And no matter how many times that it drops down, or if it fizzles out, or maybe there's something that you don't like, or maybe there's everything that you love, it's really interesting to see that Star Wars is adopting, not necessarily changing. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really, really like it. And that's what kind of made me want to go into the reviews, just to finish this bad boy off. To finish this bad boy off, I wanted to talk about some of the reviews. A lot of people were talking about episodes 3 and 4 being incredible Star Wars, and I have to agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I think it's so much fun. I really, really like it. But I want to talk about how Shadow Lord has hit 4.1 million views. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I want to talk about here the character development. A lot of people are praising what was it here, the psychological game between Maul and Devon, finding that it is very untraditional but compelling. Talking about intense action. The lightsaber choreography is next level for Disney era Star Wars. It's got that weight, intensity, and high quality animation, which I completely agree with. Episode 4 being plot progression. Maul dealing with criminal underworld dynamics, successfully attempting to win over Devon, and also leading to this like really tense kind of argumentative relationship with the other Jedi there, and also the cop, which is really, really interesting. And then also the themed atmosphere for episode 4. The episode features a slower, more deliberate and sinister kind of opening that shows the more manipulative side of Maul, reminiscent of his Clone Wars tactics, which I agree with wholeheartedly. And we're getting onto the final segment of the Blore on Mandalore score. All right, guys, look. For so long, I have not been able to have my own rating system, but I thought that, you know what, we needed it. We needed our own rating system to show what we really think about this Star Wars. And I've got to say, first of all, I want to say that Maul Shadow Lord has got a 100% Mando on the Blore on Mandalore score. And we've also got episode 3 is 10 out of 10 potatoes, and episode 4 is also 10 out of 10 potatoes. We are going to absolutely continue down this path, and I'm considering having a lower rating maybe later on, and we'll give everything kind of like an overall score. But so far, it's 100% Mando. You've got those Jedi little true Jedi things. It's 100% Mando now. This is the way. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. I really hope you enjoyed this one. And if you didn't, that's chill. I love you all. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, what you loved, what you enjoyed. If you want to talk to me live, well then go on Mando Mating, because you don't just get me, you also get the incredible CT Jesse that knows every single individual little thing about every single character in Star Wars. He's incredible. He's incredible. He's the best to do it, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to experience a show with him. So go check that bad boy out. We always keep that updated on our Instagram as well. So check out the Instagram, see for updates, everything. You'll kind of know when episodes are released because I'll post little thumbnails and so on. I love you all, guys. I hope the Maul Shadow Lord episodes 5 and 6 are going to be just as good as this one. But look, who knows? Who knows? I'm just so glad that we're getting this peak. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider a like and subscribe at the bottom. But if not, that's chill. I don't really care. I love you all anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, may the Force be with you always, and this is the way.